It's day 9 with the Apple iPhone 5, and you know what? For the most part, I'm kind of settling in with the transition from Android to iOS. How's it going, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you haven't been watching the series, I switched and have been using the Apple iPhone 5 for 30 days as part of my 30-day challenge series where I try different devices and kind of give you a more in-depth review than the typical review cycle. You know, the typical review cycle is 72 to 96 hours. This way, you can see how a particular platform performs over the course of 30 days or how a particular device performs over the course of 30 days. That's the purpose of this challenge series, and that's what we're talking about. So day 9, I'm into it. I'm kind of settled into iOS now. There are things I love, there are things I don't love so much, and it's a lot of little things, to be quite frank with you. I think in today's mobile market, it's all about finding those things you like a lot, those things you don't care for, and kind of mixing them and finding the best device for you. So for example, with VIP email, one of my favorite things about this, because I get 400 emails a day, 300 to 400 emails on a daily basis, or at least during the weekdays. And you know what? It's nice to be able to set people as VIPs. So if the owners of PhoneDog write me, if one of my editors writes me, if like a priority PR person writes me, it'll automatically pop up as a VIP email. But then for the rest, I can turn off the notifications where, yeah, the emails are still rolling in, but you know what? If it's 9 o'clock on a Friday night, or 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night, or 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and I'm laying in bed, maybe I'm going to bed early that night, I don't know, but if I'm laying in bed at 10 or 10:30, I'll know if it's an important email that needs to be responded to right away, or if I can wait until the next business day to take care of it. The VIP thing is huge. I like Do Not Disturb a lot as well, because I think it's really useful, and I can make exceptions again, where it's like family, girlfriend, and then of course staff can all call between the hours of 11 and let's say 6 a.m., but if I don't want anybody else to call, I can turn that on and it automatically silences the calls. Little things like that I do find useful. That said, I still miss a lot of the Google integration. I still miss the fantastic Gmail support on Android. I miss the fantastic Google Drive support. And for me, something I use on a daily basis, Google Talk. There's really no great native solution, obviously, on iOS with Google Talk. Other than that, here are a few more things I've found. One thing I want to talk about is Passbook. This is an application that I think is really useful in iOS 6, but it hasn't quite made it to its full potential. I'm glad that they included it. I hope to see more Passbook integration in the future, in future versions of Apple's iOS operating system. That said, Passbook, right now you can go into the App Store. We'll take a look at some of the applications that are available in Passbook, the stuff that you would imagine. Things like American Airlines, Delta, I believe, is available now, and of course Walgreens and more. The problem is, outside of that, you know what, I'm a frequent flyer junkie, I'm an aviation nut. I would love to see on a regular basis how many frequent flyer miles I have in my American account. Well, I can do that two ways. I can go in here and let me pull it away really quickly, so just in case my number shows and it does not. So we can say, you know, more, for example. I'll show you the application. Let's go to flight status, actually. Or we'll go to my account. Let's go to my flights. You can see this one, for example, and you can see my flights, all that stuff from the actual American application. That said, you can't see anything from Passbook until the day of the flight. So if you book a ticket through American, it shows up in the application. It'll show up in Passbook, but it won't show up, at least I haven't figured out a way to make it show up, until the actual day of flight. Now, you'll get your mobile boarding pass. It'll change in real time as you're at the airport. That's all great. That's all really cool. I love those functionality, or those features rather, and that functionality, but I'd love to be able to come in here to Passbook and be like, you know what, tell me kind of an aggregate here of how many American miles I have, how many Delta miles I have, how many US Airways miles I have, for example, and more, instead of just, you know, individually going into the applications. I'd love to see this as more kind of a travel application replacement, if you will. I think that'd be something that's really nice in Passbook. Unfortunately, you don't see that just yet. Hopefully, they'll integrate that into the future. Another thing I'm really enjoying right now is this. Tap to tweet and tap to post. You know what? It's been around forever. It's nothing new. Android has had alternatives like this for a while. That said, I kind of like having that up in the top corner. I just pulled out a notification bar, tap to tweet, it pops up, and I can either tweet here, for example, bam, from PhoneDog_Aaron, or from my personal account at Aaron C. Baker, and I can tweet whatever and switch back and forth between accounts as I see fit or as needed, and I can add a location and tweet directly from that area, which is really nice for a quick tweet or a quick Facebook update. I like that ability. That said, nothing new, but new to iOS. So little things like that I'm getting used to. Continuing on in the challenge, I'm going to look into seeing whether web browsing is still up to par, whether music is up to par. We'll go more in depth with that as the 30-day challenge continues, as well as some of Apple's productivity stuff like Pages. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, Aaron C. Baker. Let me know what you think of the 30-day challenge. Let me know if you enjoy this. Let me know what you think between iOS versus Android. I'd love to hear from you at PhoneDog_Aaron. The challenge continues, so stay tuned. We still got plenty more weeks in this, plenty more days to go. and I'm going to be carrying the iPhone through the holiday season. So stay tuned, let me know what you think, and let me know what you'd like to see in the challenge. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go to reading my Dallas Morning News on the newsstand. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.